Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. You know, this week, the world of AI felt like a tale of two completely different realities. On one hand, you've got AI as our creative muse, our personal assistant, just making life more interesting and, frankly, easier. But on the other hand, it's this huge disruptive force that's raising some really serious questions about jobs and our safety. So in this explainer, we're going to dive right into that double-edged sword.
And this is it, right? This is the core conflict we're all trying to figure out. Is this technology here to help us do more, to augment what we're capable of? Or is its main job just to automate, optimize, and maybe even replace human roles? This week's news gave us some powerful arguments for both sides.
So let's start with the bright side. Let's start with the promise. We're seeing AI get woven into our culture and our shopping habits in some truly fascinating ways. Ways that position it not as a threat, but as a seriously powerful new tool. First up, Los Angeles is getting the world's first ever Museum of AI Arts. It's called Dataland, and it's set to open in the spring of 2026. What I find really cool is how they're framing it. The whole mission is built around human-machine collaborations. This isn't about AI replacing the artist. It's about AI becoming a partner in the whole creative process. And this shows you just how far that partnership can go. I mean, picture this, an immersive room where the visuals are generated by an AI analyzing data, and even the smells, the scents in the room are being created by an AI model that's pulling data from the natural world. This is so much more than just a gallery of computer-made pictures. It's a full-on, multi-sensory experience co-created by people and AI systems. Okay, so from pushing the limits of art, let's bring it back down to earth with a more everyday kind of thing. OpenAI is turning its super powerful chatbot, ChatGPT, into a full-on personal shopping assistant, and it's really pushing the boundaries of what e-commerce can be.
The whole thing is becoming ridiculously seamless. You can just ask ChatGPT for something you're looking for, you'll get recommendations tailored for you, and get this. By early 2026, you'll be able to pay right there in the chat using PayPal. You won't even have to type in your shipping or billing info. That turns a chatbot from just an information tool into a really powerful engine for, well, buying stuff.
And this is where our story takes a really sharp turn. Because for all that amazing creativity and convenience, the drive for AI-powered efficiency comes at a steep and very human cost. This push for automation isn't just some abstract idea. It is having real-world consequences, like right now.
14,000. That's the number that was all over the headlines. Amazon, a company that is absolutely at the forefront of using AI, announced it's cutting 14,000 jobs. It's reportedly the largest layoff in the company's entire history, and man, it sends a chilling message about where corporate America is heading.
So, the official story from Amazon frames this as a smart, strategic move. The company says it's about cutting through bureaucracy and moving resources toward their biggest bets, with generative AI right at the top of that list. It's that classic corporate argument, right? Get leaner so you can innovate faster.
But the view from the ground? That's a whole different story. This quote from a former employee just hits you with the jarring human reality of it all. People literally uprooted their lives for a mandatory return-to-office policy, only to get laid off. It really makes you question the massive disconnect between corporate strategy and the actual impact on people's lives.
So what's driving this huge push for automation? Well, an absolutely colossal amount of money. The market for AI infrastructure is projected to grow from around $26 billion in 2024 to over $221 billion by 2034. When you have that much money chasing a technology, you know disruption is pretty much guaranteed.
And these 14,000 layoffs? They're just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. Amazon's long-term goal is to automate a staggering 75% of its operations. They already have over 1 million robots in their network. So this isn't some temporary belt tightening. Nope. This is a fundamental strategic shift away from human labor and towards AI and robotics.
All this rapid, disruptive progress is forcing a necessary and, frankly, urgent conversation about safety and ethics. As these powerful AI tools get more and more integrated into our lives, especially the lives of young people, the need for some guardrails is becoming painfully obvious. The focus of this whole conversation is a specific kind of tech called open-ended AI chat. This is where you can have a seemingly endless, free-flowing conversation with an AI. The problem?
Well, these conversations can go in really unpredictable directions, and for younger users who might be discussing sensitive topics, that could be incredibly dangerous.
And now, we're seeing a major company take a big stand. Following an FTC investigation and lawsuits from parents, Character.ai, which is this hugely popular AI companion app, has announced it will no longer allow open-ended chats for anyone under 18. That is a significant move in this industry.
And they're not just flipping a switch overnight. The company is rolling this change out on a very clear timeline, slowly ramping down access over the month of November. It shows they're taking a deliberate approach to managing this transition for their teenage users.
And this isn't just one policy change either. It's part of a much broader safety push that includes stronger age verification and the creation of a dedicated AI safety lab. This is all a direct response to pressure from regulators and, tragically, to real-world instances where these AI interactions have been linked to harm.
So after all that, where does it leave us? Honestly, it feels like we are in the middle of a massive, real-time negotiation with this technology. We are constantly defining and then redefining its place in our society, our economy, and, our day-to-day lives.
This week's stories just capture that tension perfectly. We saw AI as a collaborator in art and a concierge for our shopping, but we also saw it as a catalyst for mass layoffs and a potential danger to young people that requires urgent new rules. Every new application forces us to make a choice.
And that brings us to the final critical question. As AI weaves itself more and more into our lives, who gets to write the rules? Is it the tech companies that are racing to innovate? Is it the governments trying to play catch-up with regulation? Or is it us, the users, who decide what we will and won't accept? The answer is probably all of the above, and figuring out that balance, well, that's the great challenge of our time. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.